Yo! Kenny, Chris, what's up, boys? Happy bloody Friday, lads. Happy Friday to all of us. Why can't I see my chat? There we are. Oh, yeah, that's good. I can see my chat. How's it going, Chris? Doctor stoppage! Fake. What's up, boys? I don't know how you're excited to see me. Happy Halloween, Dougie Poo. Happy Halloween to you, Chris. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you, Kenny. And Nacho, what's up? We're Australians. We don't celebrate that American pagan garbage. What's going on? Show us your toes for Belal and York. No. Although I was quite uncomfortable making that video today, wasn't I? That was a very uncomfortable experience, having to have Belal's feet in my face all morning. It was disgusting. I actually can't believe that his toes look worse than me, and he lives his life without shoes on most of the time, and I have my shoes in work boots for most of the day. And they are disgusting. Why are we talking about feet so early? The lighting's a bit off. There we go. I do indulge in some pagan rituals, but not that. Oh, yeah, some of them. The Christmas ones, little packages underneath the pine trees, those kind of pagan rituals. I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. How are we, boys? How's everyone's Friday? What are the plans for people's Halloween? Do they celebrate Halloween over there, Chris? Do they celebrate Halloween? Jamie has been sending me all sorts of photos of Pop-Tarts, all the different flavors. What if they just decided to kill Paddy and make it Ilya versus Pimlet at 155 as the 310 main event? I don't hate it. I can't believe that Ilya Tapuria is saying that he thinks... Sorry. I can't believe that Paddy Pimlet is saying that he thinks he can still beat Ilya Tapuria. It's crazy. Have you seen LeBron James's feet? No, I don't follow athletes' feet that much. Jamie, what's up, my love? Why are you still awake? Go to bed. Jamie says, Boston Cream Donut Pop-Tarts have been obtained, ready to make the big trip back to Australia. The package has been secured. We have a Boston Cream Pop-Tart. It is ready to get back. The mean streets of Boston. That is good stuff. All right. 310. I thought we'd do something fun today. Firstly, I released the Sean Strickland video. The most hated video I've ever released. Without a doubt, the most hated video I've ever released. And I've taken some of the meanest comments left to me on that video and set them up in the back end for us to go and enjoy them together. So we're going to read people just abusing me in my own comment section. It's going to be bloody hilarious. They're loaded up and ready to go. Yeah, they celebrate hard here in Polar Bear country. Nice, man. Nice. Based Gotti says, I'm from the mean streets. Gotti's in Boston. Jamie's in Boston. Time for a collab. Get her on the channel, Gotti. I haven't watched it, but I already hate it. You haven't seen it yet, mate. The jet lag is kicking my ass, mate. I know, my love. Go to bed. It's too early for you. Please go to bed. We the in... What? Should have dropped the Humzat is that good video. I will not drop a Humzat is that good video. Should we do a poll first? Who do we want to see Shavkat? Let's do this. What have I got? Have I got Twitter open somewhere? I do. Let's squeeze out a poll first, chat, right? Who should Shavkat fight? Alex, what's up, brother? Thank you for the 2 months of membership, man. I really appreciate it. And let's say it is for an interim title, because I do believe that Belal Muhammad's career is essentially over. I don't know if Belal Muhammad is ever going to be able to make a comeback. Should it be the GOAT, JDM? Should it be a Leon? Why would it be Leon? Should it be Usman? Or should it be Ian the Rooster Gary? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Let me read some comments, and then we'll answer this poll. Should have dropped the Humzat is that good video? Never. Hey, Jamie, let's fucking go. 617. I assume that's sort of Bostonian area code. Shavkat versus Mario Batista is the fight that we need. Insanely based from Nacho. Insanely based. Leon, Shavkat versus Leon. Really? I did not expect so much Leon Edwards appreciation here. I mean, he got his ass handed to him by Belal and hasn't said a word on social media since that loss. And all of a sudden, we're rallying for Leon Edwards to have yet another go at the belt, which would then... I guess Shavkat would pretty easily destroy Leon Edwards. Okay. Jack is out. Leon won't do it. Usman might. What's up, Miguel? How are you, brother? Ian Gary can fight. Ian Gary can fight. Ian Gary's put his hands up. He said he's available. He's healthy. He's ready to go. Jack Della Maddalena is unfortunately still out. Usman would love this opportunity. Love this opportunity. Jack shouldn't even be in the conversation yet. How can Jack not be in the conversation when he had a win over Gilbert Burns? How is he not in the conversation? Ian Gary has only got a win over fucking Jeff Neal, an MVP. So how is Ian Gary in the conversation, but Jack Della Maddalena isn't? Everyday Belal gets... And Shavkat has only got a win over Wonderboy. I think getting a win over Gilbert Burns is a bigger win than Wonderboy. Come on. Everyday Belal gets older and worse, while JDM and Shavkat get even better. JDM and Gary get even better. True, Toad. Absolutely true. Jack should. Definitely Leon the GOAT. Absolutely not Nacho. Jack is legit. Jack is legit, Miguel. Have him fight JDM and perish in one... Yes, Chris. Again, one hook. Gone. Just like Nacho's character was about to be knocked out in the first round. I feel like Gary harder than Leon. I feel like Ian Gary is harder than Leon for Shavkat. I can agree with that, Kenny. I completely agree with that. I think Leon will be very, very twitchy on the takedowns. Similar to how Petr Yan was on his return. What's up, Alex? How are you, brother? There's only one man that can beat Shavkat, and that's the GOAT. Herbert Burns. R.I.P. Herbert Burns. Leon Shavkat would feed families. It would. He would tear him apart. Not in pay-per-views, but in how much Shavkat would tear Leon apart, Justin James. You're absolutely right, mate. It's not... How far am I with chat? I'm not too far. Okay. It's not appreciation. It's free money for Shavkat and a perma shutdown for Leon. Yeah, Leon would get fucking murdered. I just want to see how... I just want to see Leon lose again. Yeah, I don't see any way at all Leon Edwards beats Shavkat. I'd like Shavkat Leon, but that could lead to Belal Leon 3, which no one wants to see. A very small risk of that happening, Toad, but yeah, that could happen. I wouldn't say handed it to him. It was a 48-47, and Leon had him on his back and split him open at the end of the fight. I know that we talk about that, and I agree. It was one of those fights that was close on paper, but when you sat and watched it, it was very much a feeling of, wow, Belal fucked this guy up. You know what I'm saying? Jack is 7-0 in UFC. That's wild. Welterweight are some amazing fighters coming up. Super hard division, welterweight. Super hard division. One of the best divisions in the UFC right now. Belal, 36 years old. This injury could take up to 6 months to heal. Belal's done. Buckley too. Chris says, give my homie, his own homie, Chris's mate, Ian Gary. He says, give my best friend Ian Gary some credit. He just wrestle-fucked MVP. That is not impressive. At all. Weston says, oi, mate, you bloody legendary. It's been 10 minutes. Cunt. How are you going? How are you, Weston? What's up? We got a lot of Bostonians in the house. Jamie's in Boston. Weston's in Boston. Based is in Boston. Boston's partying right now. Nice, mate. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing from the Boston turnout tonight. Leon is better than Ian Gary everywhere. I disagree, Toad. I feel like... we talked about this a bit, Toad. You and I have talked about this. The work that Gaza... Let me call him that. The work that Gaza has done over at Shoot Box has actually helped him with his ground game a bit. Now, I think on the feet, Ian Gary and Leon Edwards are comparable. But when it comes to the ground game, because of everything that Gaza's done over with Team Shoot Box, I think he's probably better. Any notable fights this weekend? Not really. Just the main event, isn't it? That's about it. Even over at 1, it's a whole lot of Muay Thai. So I'm going to be doing a lot of watching 1 in between the 3 female fights that are happening at UFC Edmonton. I think Leon has a great chance of beating Shavkat. If he comes back motivated, he'll be dangerous. I don't know, Nacho. I think I just said it. Like, you remember when Petr Yan started to get scared of the takedowns, and that really started to affect his striking. That might happen with Leon here. We don't know. Ian Gary actually could be the champ in 2 years. Ian Gary could be the champ by the end of this year if things go well, Kenny. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Let me read out the results of this poll. Hang on. Let me finish this poll off, boys. Let me just open this up. Get this poll out and just finish this poll off right here. So who should fight for the next interim title? JDM. I love you, chat. I love you. Chat, based. Based as fuck. MVP is going against Carlos Condon in a grappling match. I'm so happy Condon is back in a grappling match. But why? But why? UFC 312 looking like Dricus versus Sean and Volk versus Lopez as the co-main. How do these fights go? If it is Dricus versus Sean, Dricus will win. Sean is breaking up here. Volk versus Lopez. Lopez smokes Volk late in the third round. Before, I was slightly leaning Shavkat, but by the time the fight actually happens, Shavkat will have a way higher chance. Before, I was leaning Shavkat, but by the time the fight actually happens, Shavkat will... Are you talking about against Leon Edwards, Toad? What about Ian Leon? Don't they have beef? What about Ian and Leon? Don't they have beef? Yeah, but I just... Shavkat's ready. You know what I mean? You don't want to get in 2 fighters on short notice. Shavkat was at least ready for this date. Leon's BJJ is actually very good. I don't understand why he's still shit at fight. I mean, maybe it's because he doesn't use it in fights. You know, Toad? Maybe because he doesn't use it in fights. Doing alright, you bloody legendary mate. Hope you're bloody well, cunt. I'm doing good, man. It's Friday night. We're chilling out with the boys on the stream. I'm relaxed, man. It's good. Holding MVP on the ground isn't a flex. I agree, Nacho. You're a wise, wise man. Leon could do it if he wanted, but he's not a retard. Leon could hold MVP down to the ground, but he's not a retard. Well, yeah, that's true. Derek Lewis is fighting. Derek Lewis is showing up. Justin James. Derek Lewis is going to be there for sure. Fighting is a weird way to put what Derek Lewis does. Going to get mad pints and poutine for Rose versus Aaron. Nice, mate. It didn't even make sense to put JDM in the poll because his arm is still recovering. So I heard, last time I checked in on my JDM news, Nacho, that JDM was going to be ready again by December. And this fight is going to be happening in December. So I don't know if he's going to be ready to start training again in December, or if he was going to be ready to step back in the cage by December. I think probably ready to start training by December. And again, that's why I said in that video, like, if the antibiotics don't take, Belal is going to be out for a long time. No, against Belal, I was very slightly leaning Shavkat, but after the injury and with the time that Shavkat has to improve, I will pick him confidently. I agree, Toad. That's why I don't think Belal is done to us, the MMA community, but I think Belal's little run here that he was having as champion is over. It is such an incredibly unlucky set of circumstances for Belal Muhammad to be held up by the UFC for so long, to finally get your belt, and then to prove to all the fans that you're willing to defend it consistently by booking it on short notice, to then have this happen to your toe is so fucking unlucky. And the fact that when I went and checked the news sites about this, people were still laughing at him was killing me, man. It was absolutely killing me. I was like, dude, Belal just cannot catch a break, and it sucks. The poor fucking guy. It's Thursday night, mate. It's Friday afternoon, mate. Leon got full mount on Usman in their last fight. I'll never forget, man. I heard training in December. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. JDM ready whenever, wherever. Oh, second fight in the rematch. God, he's talking about in the rematch. Couldn't happen to a better guy. Yeah, this is what I meant. You guys are just fucking hating on Belal, and I don't understand why. Tai says, you kind of remind me from Sal from Impractical Jokers. Thanks, brother. I have no idea who that is. What's up, Larry? How are you, man? Jack's going to fuck up Shavkat? I think he will, mate. Buckley has put his hand up as well. Jacqueline Buckley puts his name into the mix to fight Shavkat at UFC 310. No one wants to see that bloody rooster, Ian Gary versus Shavkat. People want to see knockouts. Me versus Shavkat, UFC. Who are you going to make? What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this? Jacqueline Buckley getting in there against Shavkat. I don't think Buckley's done enough. I don't think he's done nearly enough, but I love the way that Buckley keeps pushing forward and trying to get his name out there as much as he can. And the thing is, right, when it comes to Buckley versus Shavkat, they put Khalil Roundtree in there because he goes for knockouts, right? They put Khalil Roundtree in there against Alex Pereira because at least Khalil Roundtree goes for knockouts. Dougie is like Sal Volcano if he was fully retired. Thanks, Nacho. You're a good mate. You look Italian. It's probably because I'm Serbian, man. Since when did Belal get Ian's spot in the corner? Since his toe fell off, mate. Buckley Shavkat is a awesome fight, right? Isn't that way more fun? Larry says, I didn't realize you were going to use replying to comments as an excuse not to go more in depth on your personally made reviews onto the pound for pound list. I was busy yesterday, but I actually just replied to it. It was a master move, Larry, wasn't it? To just move my pound to pound list to the side to get people riled up about the Sean Strickland thing. You got to play 4D chess, mate. How he hasn't done enough when Buckley and Shavkat's biggest wins are both Wonder Boy. Buckley, we need to start pushing. All of the MMA community need to start pushing immediately for Buckley to get in there with Shavkat. Immediately. So then, who do we pick in that fight, right? There should be more. Alex, what's up, man? Alex says there should be much more hype surrounding Gary versus Shavkat, though. Yeah, there should be. There absolutely should be, right? I don't think Gary has got a loss, has he? So I think they're two undefeated prospects going for the interim title, which I imagine will be elevated to the real title, or at least they will fight Belal Muhammad for the unified title in July if his recovery goes well. Yeah, there should be way more hype for that. But I don't know. There's something about Buckley versus Shavkat that just tickles my pickle more. I think it's because there is the chance of violence. You know what I mean? There would be more hype surrounding Gary versus Shavkat. Pity points for Belal by Douglas. Going to be a new emoji of him tomorrow instead of JDM. I mean, which emoji do we replace? That's the problem, Chris. Brilliant strategy. Also very subtly directing people to discover that they weren't really your picks. I had to get out of it somehow, eh? JDM versus Wonderboy for who's the best at killing Wonderboy. JDM versus Wonderboy, and then we see, right, who killed Wonderboy with more intensity. I think JDM finishes Wonderboy easily because he just sticks to the body shots rather than worrying about working in the grappling wrestling. Belal, ew. Buckley low-key actually has a good style to win. He's clearly the better wrestler. Buckley took Wonderboy down within the first minute. I know. But look at the results of this poll that we are writing here. Look at this. Look at the results of this poll. Even though they fought the exact same person in a mirror match, and Buckley fucking ragdolled Wonderboy easily and consistently throughout the entire fight and was able to stand with him, the vast majority of people are like, obviously, Shavkat. It's interesting. The MMA community is a very interesting community, isn't it? Buckley low-key actually has a good style to win. Yep. Bro, I ran 3 miles today and did the footwork. Hit the bag for 30 minutes straight and wasn't tired. I might have Marab cardio. Let me know your EPO dealer because I am getting old and I'm starting to feel it. So whatever, my ass is your ass, mate. Wherever that needle's going, you just fucking let me know and we could get training. Can you imagine how long I could stream with whatever you're on? Nah, it's cool, Cayman. Well done, man. Well done. A lot of diet. Thoughts on my parlay for next weekend? Barry Ute. For this weekend, Barry Ute, Moreno, and Thug Rose. I haven't released my picks for this weekend yet, have I? I don't think Moreno's going to win, Nacho. I'm not right. I'm riding Barry Ute. I don't watch WMMA anymore, and I don't think Moreno's going to win. They're my thoughts, brother. But Moreno is one of those ones where it's like, it's going to be a close fight. I'm edging. That was sus. I'm edging. Stop it. Stop saying that. I think Almir Albazi will win very slightly. Would have to be this one, I think. The GOAT, Herbert Burns. Gary should be easier to sell to casuals since they're both undefeated. But those who know Buckley Shavkat would be a way better fight. Yeah. Herbert the GOAT Burns sticker is elite. That was all Alex's work. Wherever Alex is, he's around here somewhere. I do want to see Gary get finished, though, so that is appealing. I think Shavkat fucking smokes Ian Gary. Smokes him. Magomed, what's up? Dana, tell me. I fight Pereira December. Congratulations. So, Magomed, did you see my video today? Be honest, because I think the UFC are playing 4D chess with you. Why do I keep saying chest? Chess with you, mate. I think they are playing 4D chess with you. I think they want to offer Magomed Ankalaev the fight, have him refuse it on short notice because Dagestanis don't take fights on short notice, and then say to the wider MMA community, well, we offered it to him twice. He didn't want the fight. He didn't want the fight. We offered him 300. He didn't want the fight. We offered him 310. He didn't want the fight. The kid doesn't want to fight. That's where I think the UFC are going with this. I don't think Moreno will win either. Based. That's why based is in the name. I might go Albazi. Moreno kind of lost it. Yeah, I just don't think Moreno has got the fucking, the cojones. I don't think he's got what it fucking takes anymore, mate. I think he's too much of a happy dad. And happy dads can't be cage fighters. Buckley being a short, stalky guy would make him a nightmare for Shavkat to take down, but it will allow Shavkat's knees in the clinch. Weirdly, a close fight, but I slightly lean Shavkat. Nice one, Toad. Nice. Yeah, it's a way more interesting fight, right? You know what, to Albazi? I'm edging him to get the finish. No one clipped that. All right, Albazi had spinal surgery and shit. He nearly died. Heart surgery too. Yep, hasn't fought in years. He's cooked. Or, Nacho, or is he locked in knowing that he's got one shot, one opportunity, misses the fight, fully recovered, got this close to death, wants to fucking win, and is Brandon Moreno sitting in a mansion in Mexico with a pool, just a throne made of Legos, living the good life. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's not like Moreno's old, but it's weird. This fight isn't really like a styles fight to me. This fight is like a mental game. Buckley did great, obviously, but quite a stretch to say he ragdolled Wonderboy. Wonderboy won rounds 1 on 2. Well, he clinched. He had far more success with the grappling than fucking Shavkat did, didn't he? Dougie, could you shout me out on the Edmonton video? Dougie, could you shout me out in Edmonton pick video since I am going there? I don't do pick videos. No one watches them, man. I just drop posts. Did you see Moreno's Media Day interview? I haven't yet, Larry. No, I haven't. Is it quite good? I think I saw a clip of it on X. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw a clip of it on X where he was talking about how maybe he thinks he's just weak now because he doesn't have the mentality that he used to have, which is a little bit worrying, isn't it? All right, so should we do some Twitter stuff? Continue with the Twitter stuff? Or should we read my hate comments from the Sean Strickland video? What do you guys want? Drop it down in the comments. Do you want the hate comments or do you want some more Twitter stuff? We'll go through some more of the news. John Jones versus Stipe. Jones versus Stipe in November. They both retire. UFC Explorer for undisputed. Let me bring this up. Hate comments. I'm not saying he ragdolled Wonderboy, but Buckley is very clearly the way better wrestler than Shavkat, and that's not really debate. Yeah, that's the good way to put it, Toad. Like, Buckley clearly visually won that wrestling very, very easily. Very, very clearly. Buckley's height wouldn't be as hard for Shavkat to deal with as it would be for other wrestlers, since he goes for more trips and throws than shooting, but it still makes him harder to topple over. Buckley's height won't be as hard for Shavkat to deal with as it would be for other. I think, but there's also, who is that that Caucus bloke that Buckley fought on short notice that kept trying to take him down, and Buckley was able to shock him off really easily as well. Buckley's wrestling is good. It is good. I lean with Toad on this one, Lazar. Moreno definitely living in a massive Lego Death Star for sure, mate. Hate comments, Larry. Who do you think? All right, let me transition over to the hate comments. Okay, we're gonna go through some of the comments. So my Sean Strickland video is easily my most hated video, and I don't know if it mustn't have come across the way that I wanted it to come across. I was arguing on the perspective of the UFC. I was saying these are the reasons that the UFC would give Khamzat Chimaev a title shot over Sean Strickland. And I do think that I do believe that Sean Strickland wants to duck Khamzat Chimaev because he is trained with Khamzat Chimaev and knows that Khamzat Chimaev would take him down and ragdoll him. And then Larry left his very long comment, which I made an entire video responding to. I don't know if I'll ever make another video responding to just one comment because that video didn't really perform well. I might do it again in the future here on the live streams with you guys. But I feel like the live streams are like pretty in-depth debates anyway. But anyway, have a look at some of these comments. They're bloody hilarious. Larry, who do you think wins, Moreno or Albazi? Yeah, Larry, who do you have there, Moreno or Albazi? Wrestling isn't really Shavkat's game though, since most of his takedowns come from the clinch. Shavkat's good on the ground, but he's bad at getting it there, as he is shown with the Wonder Boy and Jeff Neal fight. Yeah, true. I think he's one of those guys that works on the ground, but it's almost... I'm not saying Shavkat's a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm saying it's similar to the jiu-jitsu guys who are really... They're good in a clinch and good on the ground, but they don't transition to the ground well. Shooting takedowns isn't the best thing for them. Dougie always transitioning on the streams. It's what we do. We transition so often on these streams. Shavkat isn't really a wrestler, though. He mainly uses the judo for the takedown, so I agree Buckley is a better wrestler, but I don't think it's a fair comparison. Okay. Franklin Hicks said, why are you hating on Strickland and sucking off Chimney? How many fights does Chimney have at middleweights? How many times has he pulled out? How many times has Strickland stepped up and fucked Chimaev? So obviously a Sean Strickland fan that was also not very happy that I pointed out that Sean Strickland, you know, doesn't really want to fight Chimaev and might be losing his place in line. This one, For Sure Friend, said, what's up, Aussie? How are you, man? For Sure Friend said, why are there so many absolutely trash casuals doing MMA content now? I mean, Aussie, you've known me for a long time. Would you consider me a casual MMA fan? I don't know, mate. What do you reckon? I reckon if you clicked on my channel and just scrolled through the like 700 videos that I have, but that's all right. That's all right. Got wrecked. I tell you what, it's been a hard week for me, Nacho. I tell you. Definitely a casual that hasn't even watched every single fucking Pride event. What a fucking casual. Men below. He goes, you are literally what you despise. You are a fan who has no respect for other people's opinion. This one hurt. I'm not gonna lie, boys. This one hurt. I feel like I'm pretty good with everyone's takes. I try and hear everyone out. I feel like 90% of my channel is listening to people's takes and trying to have a reasonable debate with them. And Manhumbler just fucking jumped down my throat, mate. So this one hurt. This one took me back a little bit. You seem very serious about it all. I thought so, Aussie. I thought that I was pretty fair and balanced and not a casual, but apparently I'm a casual. This one is so good. He goes, this one goes, is he even being serious right now, or is he sarcastic? Someone please tell me that this guy is not being serious. And if he is being serious, then why the fuck does anyone listen to this guy? He, he's blatantly riding Islam's dick here and swallowing it whole and gargling over it. This one was when I said Islam Makhachev 100% beats Ilia Topuria. And the other night, I went back and I watched Islam versus Dustin. Islam 100% beats Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria is going to come in for those body shots that he likes to set up, stand his base, and then Islam is just going to put his hands over the back of Ilia Topuria's head and knee the fuck out of him. He's going to clinch fuck him so hard. I finished watching that fight. I watched Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway, and I watched Max land on Ilia for 2 rounds. Ilia won the rounds, convincingly, but Max landed good shots. And then I watched Islam versus Dustin, and I was like, yeah, Islam beats Ilia 9 times out of 10. But this person, deep inside her, very unhappy with me. I would be picking Moreno 100%, but I don't know where his heart is at. He seems eager and excited to fight, but in his interview... But in his interview, he was asked if he thinks he could get a shot against the winner of Pantoja Asakura with a win here, and he kind of said yeah, and then he started talking about how they could do it with Kai Kara France, and he thinks the first one was super close. He seems like he's not eager to get the title back. That is worrying. Like, maybe he just doesn't want the pressure of being a champion, but he just wants to continue competing and winning. Like, there was who was it? Rose Namajunas talked about like the pressure of being a champion was just too much for her, and she was like happier not being a champion. Like once she lost the belt, she felt like a huge sense of relief. So Brandon Moreno's mindset could still be a competitive mindset, someone that really, really wants to get in there and go for it, but just doesn't want to have that pressure of headlining pay-per-views anymore. You know what I mean? Could be that. I thought you were going to respond to more comments than just mine. Had a big poop that wasn't coming out very easily, so my comment ended up pretty low. You're all good, Larry. My plan was to... I had other good... Not just like troll comments like this one. I had other good comments screenshotted that I was going to reply to, and I had notes to reply to them. But you know my videos, like I got to make them within 10 minutes and then head out to work. And that video already went for about 15 minutes. I was like, I can't sit here and answer it. Like, I got to get to work. So your video sort of took over. Like, there's a moment at the start of that video where you can see a cut where I said I was going to answer other people's comments across 2 videos. Albazi is coming off horrible injury where he nearly got paralyzed for life. True. But he never reached the top. And I don't know if that kind of injury is going to fuel his fire or make him more scared. You know what I mean? And then there's also the idea, Toad, that Albazi lost pretty clearly to Kai Kara France and got the robbery decision. So is Albazi a little bit of a fraud when it comes to the sort of top 5 level of competition? We don't know. It's a very interesting matchup this weekend. The main event, at least, is very, very interesting. The rest of the card, I would say, is hot dog shit. But yeah. They need to make risers for my squatty potty to get some more height on it. Yeah, you got to bend the knees, Larry. You got to bend the knees. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Toad. Long layoff and coming in for a 5-rounder. The main event's against Moreno. I'm pretty sure he's fucked. He could be fucked. But let's not forget, Nacho, my main event record is unparalleled. It's bloody good. Who should Holloway defend the BMF belt against? Dan Hooker. I believe Dan Hooker. Violent fight. Yes. Yeah, I can definitely see that, and that's what I lean towards thinking, but hard to pin him down. He seems better than going into the Royval fight, but he just didn't look himself at all in that one. Holloway versus Oliveira, Chandler for the winner. Holloway versus Oliveira, Chandler winner. But that, well, I was about to say, that holds up Max Holloway for a long time, but Max Holloway sort of needs to be held up for a long time so his chin can recover and so that he can properly build into lightweight, because I do think this time the move to lightweight will be permanent. So that's not a bad idea, Toad. That's not a bad idea. Ninmi Altulu said, what a douchebag. Zero knowledge. And I told him, Go and lick my douche, mate. That was fun. People fucking hated the Strickland video. Hated the Strickland video. Okay, this one was good. This one was good. This one is I Am Rich, and I was going to answer his comment in one of the videos. You spelled douche wrong, you monk. I don't give a fuck, to be honest, Nacho. I couldn't give a shit. This one was the one that I was going to chuck in the video as well. I asked him, why do you want to see Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev so much? And Rich said, high stakes, exciting fight. Topuria is undefeated. Islam seems unbeatable right now. Nothing else really excites me at the current moment. Shy of Aspinall versus John Jones, which will never happen. I really like this answer because there is a part of me that completely agrees with this. Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev is super high stakes because it feels like the most legit, highly competitive fight we have in the UFC right now, and they both seem like absolute world beaters. The thing is, with it, is Islam has already done the featherweight division a lot of favors already, and I feel like Islam deserves his shot at going for champ. The other thing is, I really want Ilia Topuria to stay where he is right now. We've talked about this a bunch on the chat. I want him to stay exactly where he is right now and put together some serious defenses. And because I don't believe in his abilities against Islam Makhachev that much, I definitely do not want to see this fight. But I get why a lot of the MMA community, a lot of us, feel exactly the way that I Am Rich feels. So, yeah. He has a good point. Yeah. Holloway versus Oliveira for the Chandler. Doesn't hold him up that long. The Oliveira fight is only in 2 weeks, so the schedule's lined up. It does. You're right, Toad. You're right. I was just like, got the timelines mixed up in my head, but you're right. I think if Islam beats Arman and Ilia beats Volk in a rematch, they should do Ilia versus Islam. Fuck it, why not? Super fights are always fun. They only have so much time at the top. So, Islam won't be able to go up until Belal fights whoever the interim champ ends up being. So what do we think about this, chat? Since there's only a couple of us in here. What do we think about this? The rumor was that Islam Makhachev's hand was going to be good enough to go by January. That he would be back in by January. I think 311 was going to be an Islam Arman fight. How do we feel about offering Arman Sarukian a interim title shot against... Fuck, lightweight is dead right now. Fuck. There's an opportunity here for Islam Makhachev to move up and try and become champ and take the belt. Like, remember when Holloway was going to move up to fight Khabib to try and become champ? Or was it Dustin? When Khabib was suspended. I think Khabib was suspended. Holloway was going to move up to fight Dustin for the vacant belt and have a go at becoming champ. There's a similar situation going on right here where Shavkat could fight Islam Makhachev for the interim title. The problem is, what do you do with Arman Sarukian? I know it seems messy, but it's like Islam's chance of greatness right now to scooch in there, especially since he doesn't really want to fight Belal Muhammad. Oh, you're saying Islam move up to become the welterweight champ against Shavkat? That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, exactly what Holloway tried to do with Dustin Poirier when Khabib was suspended for jumping out of the cage. That's exactly like, let's recreate that weekend with Islam Makhachev moving up to fight Shavkat. The question is, who fights Arman Sarukian for an interim title? They just have to make Belal drop the belt like Yuri and Jamal did. I don't have a problem with that at all. It's not fair. I don't have a problem with it because of the intensity of this injury can take a long time to clean up. A really, really long time to clean up. So I don't understand why we just say, listen, when you're healthy, just like Yuri did, just like Jamal did, you will get to fight for whoever is the title holder. You get to fight for the title. But you need to vacate the belt because this could be 6 months of recovery before you can even start training again. I don't want Islam to risk losing to Shavkat for some interim. I think they should just stick to Islam and Arman. Fair enough. Islam and Ilia both fight someone else. Then Islam Islam and Ilya both fight someone else. Anybody else. Okay. Then Islam challenges for the welterweight title while Ilya gets his third defense. And then if Ilya loses at welterweight and then if Islam loses at welterweight and Ilya wins, it will be perfect and Ilya will have earned it. True. And Islam will seem a little bit more human with a loss under his belt recently. You know what I mean? I know we saw him get knocked out fucking years ago, but to have a little bit more recency bias will make that fight seem more exciting, at least to me. You guys seem to think that fight is already pretty exciting, but to me it'll make that fight seem a little bit more exciting because there'll be that recency bias there. I like that a lot, Larry. I wonder if they're going to offer it. I wonder if they're going to offer it to him. Peyton Talbot's finally booked back in. I got my shit together here. Peyton Talbot's finally booked back in. He's going to be fighting Ronnie Barcelos January 18th. Looks like there's not going to be any Christmas for Peyton Talbot. I think this is going to be a pretty easy knockout for Peyton Talbot. Islam and Ilya hate each other, so there'd be a ton of hype in the build-up as well. Does Islam hate Ilya? I guess he does, doesn't he? There's a lot of fucking back and forth. There is no one for Islam after Arman since welterweight is now held up, so they might go with Ilya. I think they might. It might be, yeah. There might be something interesting to do there, because lightweight is kind of fucking dead at the moment, isn't it? They need to make it a little bit more exciting for them. What do you guys think the odds are of Alex Pereira fighting Magomed Ankalaev? Do you think Magomed Ankalaev would actually take that fight on short notice? Because according to our brother making the walk, the UFC have called him. The problem with Alex Pereira stepping up on short notice is that he had a horrible fucking weight cut the last time that he fought a couple of months ago. Horrible fucking weight cut. Is carrying a ton of injuries from this entire year. And all those press conferences and all that world touring that he was meant to be doing when he stepped in for 303, he was in the middle of a world tour for marketing reasons, and he pushed all of that shit back so that he could step in for UFC 303. And I think he moved all of that shit back to the Christmas break. So then he'd have to rebook all of those things again just to get back in there. I don't know if his... what's the word for it? I don't know if his sponsors would allow him to go and fight again. Yeah, Islam said Ilya has to be careful on what he says, or Islam will catch him on the... Oh, is that what those reporters were arguing with Ilya about at the post-fight press conference? Yeah. Send location, brother. I sent Khabib around to come get you, brother. I think what they'll do is tell Ilya to bulk, make Islam Arman at 311, and then Ilya fights the winner in International Fight Week. I could say that. So do you think then they make Lopez versus Volkanovski for the interim title, since Ilya is going to try and move up? Because that's what they did when Volk moved up, right? They made Josh Emmett versus Yair Rodriguez for the interim title, yeah? Thoughts on Lil Uzi's new album? Why would I have listened to it, Taito? I've never heard a single song from that bloke in my entire life. It's not really my sort of genre of music, man. I think the chances of Alex Pereira actually fighting Magomed Ankalaev are like 10%, less than 10%, I reckon. I don't think there's much chance at all of Alex Pereira being able to fight Magomed Ankalaev. I don't think Magomed would take it, and I think Alex Pereira needs a fucking rest, man. I seriously do. I think the guy has had the biggest year out of everyone. All Father's Plan crew been tweeting at Ilya as well. There's definitely a scuffle between the camps. Nice. Yeah, I reckon, man, like, it's definitely going to sell the fucking fights. I don't know if it's going to be Conor McGregor levels. I love that Ilya is getting into the exact same beef with the exact same camp as Conor. Pulled the exact same move with Volkanovski as Conor did against Aldo. Got all of Conor McGregor's tattoos. Like, Ilya is just like, fuck it. I'm selecting the Conor McGregor character, and I'm fucking going for it. If they let Ilya move up, then they'll probably do an interim. That's what I reckon. I reckon if Ilya is going to move up, there probably will be an interim, Toad. I reckon. Poatan is a beast for trying to get another title fight in this year. The dude has a mental illness. He wants to make all of the fucking money. All of the fight. And Dana White is like, fuck it. Let him go. Oh, I just realized it'd be hilarious to make the stands go crazy if Ilya won, because the Islam stance would be torn between saying it means less since Islam just lost, or not saying that and giving Ilya the full cred. Like, so Islam moves up to welterweight, loses. Let's say he gets knocked out. Again, he's been knocked out before. Let's say he gets knocked out and then moves back down to lightweight to face Ilya Topuria. And then Ilya Topuria knocks out Islam Makhachev, and you have to say, oh, it's because he was knocked out at welterweight. He loaded into the Conor career part. Oh no, he selected UFC 5, and he's like, I'll just take Conor McGregor. Whatever, I'll go for all the money. All the money. Now, if Alex Pereira does win, if Alex Pereira does fight again at UFC 310, I do think there is somewhere to put him, like, in the fucking GOAT conversation. And I'm talking, like, top 10 GOAT conversation. If Alex Pereira, hear me, right? If Alex Pereira fights 3 times this year while injured without a proper training camp, and then takes a 4th short notice fight at the end of the year with the hardest possible contender at light heavyweight at the moment, the one that everyone has been screaming for. So he takes the hardest possible contender at his most depleted state possible on short notice. I'm seriously not sure. If he actually does that and beats Magomed Ankalaev, which I think there is like a 10% chance of that fight actually happening, but if it was to happen, I'm talking top 10. I'm talking top 10. I'm talking like kick Amanda Nunes out of the top 10 and you put Alex Pereira in there. And it would kind of make it mean less for Ilya, which would be cool because I do like Islam more as a person. I like them both. I'm a big fan of both of them, Larry. Dana called Oliveira versus Chandler a title eliminator. And looking at lightweight, that's probably true. We need Armin to fluke something so we get a trilogy with a lot of hype. Yeah. I don't blame Dana for saying that it's a lightweight eliminator because there is nothing really happening at lightweight for the moment. We, like with Moicano having his shoulder blown out and being so old, it kind of kills the hype for Moicano. So the biggest hype fight that we have outside of Armin Islam is Dan Hooker, Paddy Pimblett. And Dan Hooker, as much as I love his style and I love the bloke, I think he's a fucking psycho. It's hard to get excited about Dan Hooker title aspirations after seeing how much gas he's burnt in the division or in life or in the UFC. Do you know what I mean? Premium Mushi, what's up, brother? How are you, man? How are you, dude? We're just talking shit and hanging out, mate. Feels so good to hear Doug say good things about Poatan. Well, you're welcome, mate. You're bloody welcome. Would you start a Sharma chant finally? I would, mate. I would finally start going, Sharma, Sharma, Sharma. He's 100% the fighter of the year if he beats Ank at 310. It's solidified in the GOAT convo. I think if he takes Ank at 310, if that fight happens, he's 100% the fighter of the year, win or lose. If he beats his hardest competition on the most suboptimal circumstances possible. We're talking top 10. We're talking top 10. Dan Hooker's brain is mush? Yeah, it is. I was hyped when Hooker beat Gamrot, but now we just have a guy Islam destroyed in 2 minutes in the top. Yeah, I know. That's like, it's like, what are we getting hyped about? I'm hyped that Dan Hooker's there and we get to see like super fun matchups for Dan Hooker. Like Dan Hooker Oliveira, sick matchup. Dan Hooker Gaethje, sick matchup. Maybe Dan Hooker Poirier too. We know that's a fire fight. But shit, man. Oh, fuck, man. I missed your Powhatan Glaze. Does he rock Angst shit in December? Should I do it again? He's going to have to change his nickname to Go Titan. He fucking is, mate. Premium Osh. If Alex Pereira fights Magomed Ankalaev as a fourth fight this year, all of them on short notice, carrying injuries into all of them, he is going to fight the number one contender, his hardest competitor to date at light heavyweight, at the worst possible circumstances for any champion. And if he pulls that off, you've got to consider putting him in the top 10 GOAT conversation. Because he broke Ronda Rousey's record in the modern era, and the cornerstone of breaking Ronda Rousey, the cherry on top of breaking Ronda Rousey's record, was against the hardest fucking competition possible. I really like what seems to be Ilya's true self, but I don't like the personality he puts on. I do enjoy it as an element to the sport, but that's because it makes him a good villain who I dislike. No, dude, I know what you mean. Like, I was chatting to someone about this. I don't know if it was in the Discord or where. Anyway, I was chatting to someone about this in the back and forth. I love Ilya Topuria fight week because he is the biggest cheeky cunt all fight week long. He's such a prick. But then afterwards, he's a super humble, like, nice, chilled out guy. And as we were just saying before to Nacho, it's like he's selected the Conor McGregor character option, right? Like, Conor talked all this shit, but if you noticed, like, right after the fight, that press conference after the fight, before Conor would go into the back room with Dana and start talking business, which was just Dana, like, poorly negotiating with Conor McGregor and pushing his price down. But there was that moment at the end of every Conor McGregor press conference where he was just like a nice, chill dude who gave his opponent a lot of credit. And then the bullshitting would, like, it would sort of reset. Honestly, like, I feel like Ilya Topuria went to bed watching Conor McGregor's career every single night. And he's like, I'm gonna do that, Mum, I'm gonna be Conor McGregor. Shama. Can't wait for Islam Oliveira too, now that Charles is 35 and he has even less of a... Yeah, this is like, lightweight is... What are we doing? And Paddy Pimblett, like, isn't Paddy Pimblett like 33, 34? You know what I mean? Like, he's had a massive career already through Cage Warriors. Like, what are we doing? I'm with you on that one, Larry. Nice. I haven't gone so far as to say I'm glad you did, because I completely agree that even just talking about him makes him fighter of the year, win or lose. That one about Ilya or Alex, Nacho. Yeah, which one are you talking about, Nacho? But yeah, even if he takes the fight, he's fighter of the year. Yog says, what are your thoughts on Alexa Grasso's feet? Haven't thought about them. Actually, Yog, I have thought about them today. Today was the first day where I can officially say I thought about Alexa Grasso's feet, mate. When I was making my video today, staring at Belal Muhammad's make feet, I thought of you. I went, I wonder what Yog's doing right now. Nacho! This is for saying nice things about Goatan. Thanks, Nacho. I appreciate it, man. Once in a while, I have to say something nice about Powhatan, right? Oh, my God. Stipe doesn't know if he's going to retire. Nacho, thanks for the support, man. I appreciate it. Like I've said 1,000 times, the amount that you and I can give each other shit and still get along with each other, this is what makes Australia great. Bilal's toes. Oh. Paddy 29, making him the 20. Paddy's 29. Okay. All right. Cool. We got 3 years with Paddy. All right. Cool. Paddy's 29, making him the only up-and-comer, but his striking is so shit that it's hard to call him a prospect. Yet he is, Toad. Yet he is. Okay, I'm cool with that. Paddy being 29, I'm okay with. I really am. Yeah, I thought he was 31 or 32. I was like, we've got a year at best with Paddy. But 29, we got 3 years with him, which is good. We got 9 fights with Paddy Pimblett before the fall off. I like that. I agree with both. Larry was talking about Ilya in the message. Okay, nice. Until partway through the post-presser, when he started calling himself the BMF, and all that was like, come on, dude, you just said Masvidal is the only true BMF because it was made for him. If Max wasn't really the BMF, then you couldn't become a BMF. Oh, you're talking about Ilya? Yeah, I know. I feel like Ilya kept it to the post-fight interview in the cage, and then a couple of moments at the presser, and then he was like, "Back to work." Oppa. Sorry guys, my toe hurts. Belal's good eye. Belal's bad toe. Do you agree with my assumption that Diego Lopez will become the flyweight champ in a couple of years, or am I retarded? I don't disagree, but I'm not as hardcore on it as I am on, say, my Ilya Topuria Islam Makhachev take. Diego can become the champ. If Movsar becomes the champ, he's in trouble because Sambo beats Jiu-Jitsu. With Ilya as the champ, he's in trouble. That first round is his best round. I gave my belt to JDM. How do you do a fucking Belal Muhammad impression? Well, you guys, I gave my belt to JDM. He's the real champ, you guys. I knew he was the real champ. Talking about it, they actually might give Conor McGregor a title shot. Not that many people would complain since no one is being skipped over. I know, Toad. I sincerely meant it when I did my post-fight recap for 308. Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor, BMF title fight. If Conor McGregor beats Max Holloway at 155, considering the division and considering Khalil Roundtree can do steroids and get a title shot, and Glover Teixeira can have the piss beaten out of him, be semi-retired, and get a title shot, and Stipe Miocic cannot fight in 4 years and get a title shot. If Conor McGregor fights Max Holloway, roided up, and roids are back, have no fucking doubt about that. Roids are back on the menu, boys. Have you seen the photos of John Jones? John Jones looks better now after a year off, a year older, and a horrible pec injury. John Jones looks better now than he did after bulking up to heavyweight for 3 years. Roids are back on the menu, and Max Holloway's chin is being cracked. Toad, it's a very real possibility, brother. Very real possibility. Nacho, you may be retarded. Oh, Nacho is definitely retarded. Movsar already beat Diego. I know, man. That's why I said if Movsar's champion, he's in a very hard position. Nobody is beating the Spaniard. Ilya is going to hurt Volk badly in a rematch. I totally agree, Miguel. It kills me inside. I agree, Nacho. I don't know who else it would be. I don't think Movsar wins a rematch with Diego having a full camp. I don't know who else it would be. I don't think Movsar wins a rematch with Diego on a full camp. It would be very, very, very hard for Diego to win that fight. I know you think Movsar could win it. I think Diego could win it on damage, but it would be a hell of a fight, man. What's up, Tony? How are you, brother? Popping in here, Dougie. What's up, Tony? How are you, man? Hope you're doing good, dude. I hope you're having a good afternoon. Good night. Diego is improving at such a rapid rate. He seems so much better in every fight. I forgive his cardio in the Ige fight due to all the weigh-in bullshit. I've never seen anyone brutalize Ortega the way that he did. He is. He's improving fucking massively. And he did look competitive in that first Movsar fight. Yeah, I think on the hands, Ilya will probably outwork him over the course of the fight, which is why you've got to give Diego the advantage in the first round. And then also, when these Dagestanis get exposed, they go even harder. And, Movsar got exposed. He's like, you know what I'm saying. Like these wrestlers from that area, from that region, they go hard. I don't even think Conor needs a win. I think he might need a win. I want Max versus Conor for the BMF. I think you're going to see it, Larry. Oh, yeah, John Jones is natural. Oh, yeah, 100% natural. More shredded with a pec injury. Yeah, he's 100% natural. Dana is on steroids, so he doesn't mind his athletes doing it. True. He like it. John looks insane. God bless him. The picograms are fucking pulsing. UFC is a business and not a sport. That is true, Miguel. The fighters need to realize that. Where is Sean Strickland today? Out of all of this news that we have received today, Why is Sean Strickland not banging the drum as hard as possible? He should be on Chael Sonnen's podcast today. He should be doing a live stream today. Calling out Dricus du Plessis, calling him a bitch, saying that he doesn't want the fight. Sean Strickland should be going hard today. While this headline is in the news of UFC 310, it should be Strickland's day. Volk is the best Australian fighter of all time? Yeah, he is. It is sad to see. Movzar will beat him again? Maybe. Max gets that one back. I want to see Conor versus Islam so bad too. I am so torn. No, we want to see Conor versus... I agree. That would be massive, massive pay-per-view. It would be good fun. Islam would beat the fuck out of Conor McGregor. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Personally, I'd remove Movzar. Maybe we tell the cops that he's been up to. Let's just fucking... What was that one that just got booted even though he got a win against Manel Cap? I've already forgotten his name. That's what happens when you're not in the UFC zeitgeist anymore. What's his fucking name? He just lost a grappling match. Muhammad Makayev. Just fucking cut him. Dougie, why were you mean to Sean Strickland? I wasn't mean to Sean. I was a little bit mean to him. He deserves it. He's a hypocrite. He's a pussy. He's a bitch. He deserves it. I really want to see Diego versus Volk so we can clear-cut contender for Ilya. Or do you think it's similar for the? Or do you think it's smarter for the UFC to do Ilya versus Volk and hold Diego for the winner? I think it's smarter for the UFC to do Ilya versus Volk. I think the stage that Ilya is in right now, you want to get him on pay-per-views and get wins underneath him to keep building that hype. It's just a free fight to keep him busy for the next 6 months. And they got to organize Spain. So I think you just... And then you save like the, holy fuck, this is the young up-and-comer that can really fucking destroy Ilia Topuria maybe. You do that fight in Spain. Or a super fight with Islam Makhachev in Spain. Not in Abu Dhabi. Not in Abu Dhabi. Do not do an Ilya Islam fight in Abu Dhabi. Because the Islam Makhachev weight cut... No super fights in Abu Dhabi. Diego Lopez lost to some can named Nate Richardson only like 3 years ago, but I couldn't watch it because I don't have Fight Pass. Hard to imagine he goes from that to being a washed Volk in 3 years. Not really. I mean, fighters have pretty insane turnarounds, Toad. We've seen it a lot. You know, fighters that looked like shit that turned out to be amazing. Masvidal. You know, Masvidal went into the woods, decided to start baptizing people, had an insane turnaround. What are some other examples of fighters that have had sick turnarounds? Moicano recently, right? Moicano, although Moicano was fighting in the top 5. Oh, there's a fighter who's fighting on this weekend's card. I can't remember his name right now, but he got kicked out of the UFC, went and did some regional fights. Now I think he's on a 3-fight win streak. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. I don't want to see Conor lose to another Daggy. I don't think the cocaine industry can handle the supply and demand that would occur. Ireland would be snorted dry. Might be good for Sean to let other stories overtake... Might be good for Sean Strickland to let other stories overtake things for a moment and let people's minds get off the Hamzat performance against Rob for a bit before starting it back up. Not sure. Maybe. I don't know, dude, Larry. Like, I don't know, Larry. I believe in my heart that today... Dana was in an emergency meeting at the Apex with Hunter and Sean, and you know their social media team are looking at social media numbers, trying to figure out where all the hype is, and they're calling managers, seeing who's ready to go. They're calling managers, seeing who's ready to go, who's saying what. You know that like UFC Roku moment is happening today and tomorrow in the offices of the Apex, and they are trying to get shit well, maybe on the plane, maybe on the flight over to Edmonton. That's where shit is going down. There's fucking phone calls being made everywhere. Charlie Oliveira, thank you, 100%. There you go, of someone who was dog shit. Yes, that is, thank you, Nacho. I can't believe I didn't even think of that one. Charles motherfucking Oliveira. That's the one, dude. Such a good fucking example. The Oliveira. Yeah, dude, remember, Charles was a quitter. Charles had no guts. Charles had eye problems. And then fucking Super Saiyan Charles was born. I'm with you, Nacho. We don't need to do this, isn't me pushing for it, but if we go down the Strickland rabbit hole, you should read my reply real quick. Enjoying these other topics, though. You're all good. You're all good, man. You're all good. Oliver, I think we will park it for a bit. I feel like we've talked about Sean Strickland all week, Larry. All week. But I'll save it and I'll bring it up on a stream. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if I'll do it in another video, but I'll bring it up on a stream. Oliveira lost to ranked guys in a weight class he never should have been in, while Diego lost to a non-UFC level guy. Can't say much on it since I don't have any way to watch the fight. But Diego is a fraud 100%. Toad, are you in the Discord? Because if you're in the Discord, Toad, I shared a website where you can go back and watch like a fighter's catalog for free. You need a VPN, and I would suggest using the Brave browser so you don't get a lot of pop-ups. But yeah, that's in there. If you search all fights or full fights in the Discord, you'll see the link there, man. Yusuf Zalal this weekend. That's the one that I was thinking about. Yep. Frauds don't beat the piss out of Brian Ortega. I just think he's leveled up. And fighters level up all the time. Do we think that Stipe would hang around? If Stipe beats John Jones, do we think that Stipe would hang around to actually fight Tom Aspinall? I think Stipe would. If they offered him enough money, I think Stipe would. Like, Stipe is clearly willing to get back into the octagon for money. He's proving that in a couple of weeks' time when he goes in there against John Jones. If he beats John Jones and gets the belt, I could 100% see Dana White saying, you know what? We were going to give Francis Ngannou and John Jones like $7 million for that fight. Why don't we give Stipe $3 or $4 million and see what he says? I can 100% believe that happening, yeah? But then, also, frauds don't beat the piss out of Brian. Didn't the War Room meetings happen earlier in the week? Maybe they had another today because of the Belal stuff, but I'm not sure if they imagine about... But if so, then I imagine they didn't talk about much else. Yeah, no, but I think the Belal... No, I don't... The War Room stuff happened earlier this week. It happens on Tuesday. Yeah, it happens on Tuesdays. But when an emergency like this happens, I think you look at all the fighters that are available and you try putting together any main event you can. And I do believe that Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis would have been part of that conversation. Brian Ortega versus Lopez was the changing of the guard for the fraud overrated fluke merchant. You reckon Sharma would sharpen Realm Stipe and Jones? You reckon Sharma would sharpen Robin Stipe and Jones? I think John Jones beats Alex Pereira. I think John Jones takes him down and wrestle fucks him. I think Alex Pereira beats Stipe Miocic. Premium oosh. That's why Dana always says, ask me on Tuesday at the presser. Yep. I don't think those guys were ranked when Charles lost to them, were they? Obviously, they proved to be great fighters eventually, but I don't know at the time. Movzar was ranked when Diego fought him, though, and Diego was on short notice as well. Now, imagine this, right? Imagine if Stipe Miocic wins the belt, and then because he hates Dana White so fucking much, he just takes the belt and fucking bounces and never calls the UFC back. Because we know that Dana White fucking hates an unlineal title. Hates it. He was so angry at GSP for bouncing that he made him put into his contract that he would defend against Robert Whittaker if he beat Michael Bisping. Imagine if Stipe pulled the exact same fucking shit and just ignored the clause and went, fuck you, Dana White. Go fuck yourself. That would be a fucking GOAT moment from Stipe. Conor McGregor is going door knocking, house to house, looking for cocaine. Anywhere he can find it. He's breaking into people's bedrooms, looking under their mattresses, hoping to find cocaine anywhere. I think Dana has pretty much accepted that Stipe will retire after the fight, hasn't he? Or did I miss that? Stipe was answering questions and said he's not sure if he's going to retire. So, yeah. Just checked Oliveira's record, and his pre-champ losses were all very solid guys who would all have destroyed Nate Richardson. There you go. I think Stipe is very likely to take on Tom if he wins, at least a bit more likely than John is, even if that just means having a lower price tag to do it. If I was going to be a gambling man, I would say the chances of Stipe fighting Tom Aspinall are higher than the chances of Stipe fighting John Jones. I completely agree with that, Larry. Just checked Oliveira's record when his pre-champ losses were all over very solid guys. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if this is what you meant before, but Sean absolutely should be calling Drickus out for 310. Even if it didn't happen, he could flip the ducking narrative around. Yeah, Larry, that's what I meant. Like, Sean, today should be Sean's day. He should be fucking everywhere. Everywhere. I'm hyped for the main event and the co-main, the fight before I'm hyped for the main event and the co-main and the fight before the co-main. Are you talking this weekend, Juice Man? What's up, dude? You talking about this weekend? I'm not that hyped for the co-main. I don't even think I'm going to be watching the co-main. I think I'm going to skip that part of the card and watch one, brother. But yeah, you talking about this weekend's? Brock Lesnar post-interviews were the best. Where did Diego touch you? I know, Toad's very anti-Diego Lopez. Nacho, he said Stipe is going to, but he's also said he's not sure, and maybe Stipe will want to fight him. It's very unclear. Belal stubs his toes and pulls out. Strip him now. Shavkat versus JDM for the undisputed strap. Tom, what's up, brother? How are you, man? I do think Belal Muhammad should be stripped. I don't want to see what's beneath his Venom fight kit. I'm saying he should be stripped of his belt, is what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not. I think the injury is going to take about 3 to 4, maybe it could take up to 6 months, man. There was a doctor who commented on my video and he's like, a correct assessment, it could take up to 6 months, which is obviously not good. So yeah, I think strip him, and if he is healthy enough to come back and fight within the next year, do the exact same thing you did with Yuri Prohaska, Jamal Hill, you get the first shot at the belt. Yeah, this fight night, Bilal's foot was messed up bad. It was fucking messed up bad. I'll show you guys my picks for this weekend's fight night. Where are we? Let me get my picks up. Connor, get out of the way, mate. You're not going to find the cocaine. And I'll post these picks to the community post after this. Okay. Would you lick Bilal's toe for 10k? No. Bilal's foot was messed up? No, I wouldn't. Feet, actually, I have how some people have a foot fetish, Nacho? I have a anti-foot fetish. I really do. Also, I'm going to be up a loss from close to exactly 3 years ago. I'm not going back up. Also, I'm only bringing up a loss from close to exactly 3 years ago. I'm not going back half a decade. You're not comparing Diego directly to Charles. I know, but the Charles Oliveira example, Toad, is like an example of how fighters can turn it around. And I think Diego is going through that stage right now where he is turning it around. I think we got a new Diego Lopez on our hands here. I think he's gotten drastically better. Yeah, that's the fight night. Bilal's foot was messed up. What's up, Eric? How are you, man? You caught me right at the end of the stream, dude. I've been going for an hour 15. Shirt is, you can see it. You can see it, brother. Honestly, that would be hilarious. If John looks good and Stipe wins, where do you rate Stipe's chances? I definitely still pick Tom, but I wouldn't be quite as confident. If Stipe and John both look good and Stipe ends up pulling off a Daniel Cormier 3 fight where he just fucking grits down and gets it done, I'd still be picking Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is the most deadly weapon made of human meat that is on this planet right now. Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous human being walking the planet. Closely followed by Francis Ngannou. The two most dangerous men on the planet are without a question Tom Aspinall and Francis Ngannou. And Tom always, in every single fight, gets that chin clipped. Every single fight. I think Tom Aspinall finds his range by allowing his opponent to touch his chin once. And if Francis Ngannou touches his chin, game over, boys. Game over. Happy Halloween, Eric. I hope you are staying off the streets, mate. I know how you get. Behave yourself. All right? There's a lot of candy out there. Behave yourself. Stipe has more championship wins where he was the underdog than anyone else in UFC history. That can't be possible. Stipe has more championship wins where he was the underdog. That can't be possible. Oh, it can be possible. Because the champ isn't usually the underdog. Okay. That is interesting. If being the dog motivates him, I wouldn't put it past him to give a middle finger to all the doubters and KO both John and Tom. The dude is a real-life hero. I could see him finishing John. I could see him ending John. I can't see him finishing Tom. Yeah. Fights from 3 years ago. I just got here, so restart the stream. No, mate. Absolutely not. Fight from 3 years ago to current are around where I go to for make predictions. Diego's gotten better, but how much better can you get in 3 years going from losing to a regional scene bump? I think he can do quite well, man. You know, especially once you get to the UFC PI and you start actually training properly, weight cutting properly, recovering properly. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big difference between a regional athlete's diet and a full-on UFC athlete's diet who stays at the PI and uses all of the recovery methods that they have. I think you can get quite a lot better, man. Quite a lot better. I just got here. So yeah, me too. But does it go from 9 to 5, Tom, or 8:15? I said. Okay, right. Stipe versus Aspinall. If Stipe looks good against John Jones, it goes from, say, 95-5 to, I would say, like 75-25. Yeah. Again, because it depends how good Stipe looks. And it does, like, you do have to remember that Tom Aspinall always gets hit once. He's always been majorly disrespected by the UFC and the odds makers, which is why I wouldn't be surprised if he just flipped the UFC off and fucking walked off with the belt. There's a lot of I know, Eric, so stay indoors and keep it wrapped up. Officer, did you see what she was wearing? She was bloody ass. 50 no's and a yes is a yes. We're going to find out October 26th, bro. We're going to find out. All right, boys, that's it. It's been an hour 20. I'm out of here. Have yourselves a great night. There will be another stream tomorrow, and there will be another stream for this absolutely horrendous card. Absolutely horrendous card. There won't be a video tomorrow because it's bloody Saturday. It's my day off for videos. But yeah, that's it, man. I'm out of here. Finish reading the chat. I'll read this one. Eric the rapist's last message. Let me read Flat Eric as well. What's with all the Erics? Very strange. We're going to find out October 26th, man. Actually, a decision win over Tom might be even more impressive than a KO. Got to prove your superiority over 25 minutes to win a decision. Aspinall always gets hit. Stipe round 1 KO is a fluke narrative. I get what you're saying. Like, if someone beats someone's ass over 25 minutes, there is no argument about that being a decisive win. Whereas, like, If Cheeto Vera puts out Sean O'Malley and hits his perennial nerve, everyone's like, oh, it was a fluke, right? If Stipe lands on DC's liver and puts him away, everyone's like, oh, it was a fluke. DC's clearly the better fighter. But if you beat someone's ass ruthlessly, if you just bend them over, if you get them into the ground and pound decision, get top mount, and then they're done. For 25 minutes, I get you, man. Thank you for the $2, brother. I really, really appreciate it. Nina Drama versus Helen Yee. Who you got? I mean, a man's going to need some Gatorade, but I reckon you could handle both. All right, boys, I'm out of here. You guys have a good night. Enjoy yourselves. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for the $2, Larry. Thank you for the $2, Nacho. I got to get back under the... Get my thumbs warmed up, you know what I'm saying? Redemption must come, Nacho, and it must be swift. That's why Sean's decision win over Izzy was better than over half the finishes with him in round 1. I agree, man. If the doctor stops the fight in the first round, it means you're a kick. No, it means it was a fluke and you paid off the doctors. I'm out of here, boys. Have a good night. See you later. I'll chat to you guys tomorrow. There'll be a much earlier stream tomorrow. Fair American time stream tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. The doctor was on the payroll. I saw you slip him a pineapple, mate.